Hey you guys, Coach Liz here. All right, welcome to another week of Healthy Through the Holidays series. We have talked about some great things this past month. Just kind of a recap. Number one, knowing your why, knowing what you want to accomplish during this last month of the year, and having that in your mindset written down, something that you share with other people. Also, number two, I encouraged you to join us in our gratitude journal challenge through December, writing down every day 5 things that you're grateful for, what went well that day, and what you want to accomplish the next day, what you want to improve on the next day, so that you're always conscious of where you're at and where you want to be. And that can be in your mindset. All right, we also talked about planning ahead for success, doing a meal plan, thinking ahead before you leave to know what you need, whether it be healthy snacks or some water to stay on track while you are away. Also, we talked about stop, challenge, choose last week, and also food fallacies, knowing the difference between a thought and or a story and the fact. Often we tell ourselves stories and we think that it's fact. So just being conscious of our mindset and being aware of food fallacies and what those are, and then really being intentional about stopping, challenging our thoughts, asking ourselves, which way do we want to go with this decision? Do we want to go backwards or forwards? And then making that choice. So creating that space between stimulus and response is key. This week, I want to touch on emotional eating. The holidays bring a lot of emotions, a lot of them good emotions, some of them sad or depressed or lonely emotions. And it's an important thing to recognize how we buffer our emotions. We all have them. Our thoughts become our emotions. And so when we really learn to retrain our thoughts and be intentional about our thoughts, we can really, it affects our emotions and then our actions. So number one, recognizing our emotions, recognizing when we're having an emotion and being able to name it, locate it, process it, maybe take some deep breaths, and then being able to deal with it. Sometimes it will just pass, sometimes it won't pass, but being able to recognize that that's why you're feeling that way, and you don't have to cover it up. That is key. But we all have buffers. We all have things that we do to cover these emotions. And so I'm going to bring up something that really helps me. It's called my blasted menu. Now, a blasted menu, you write the words blasted down the side. And I want you to do this. I want you to grab a piece of paper and write the word blasted down the side. The B stands for bored, the L for lonely, A for angry, stressed, tired, excited, and depressed. These are like our core emotions that we feel. There's also sub-emotions within those, but these are like our main emotions. And these are often things that are just uncomfortable, and we try to cover them up. For example, when was the last time that you sat in a doctor's office appointment waiting for the doctor, feeling bored, and didn't pick up your phone or didn't try to cover that feeling of boredom? It's something that we do. So we often just cover those up. Sometimes we even buffer with things that might be healthy, like exercise or cleaning. But when it's to cover up an emotion and not dealing with that emotion, that's when it's not effective. So when we can recognize and become conscious of the emotions that we're feeling, first of all, I like to process those and then do something about it. If I'm feeling hungry or craving, I like to have a big glass of water first. Ask yourself, am I really even hungry, or am I just feeling an emotion that I'm trying to cover up? And then having this blasted menu somewhere that you can see it. So with each category, I want you to write down what you could do when you're feeling that emotion. When you're feeling bored, what could you do instead of eat? You could read, call someone, go lay outside in the sun, not in the summer probably. You could go for a walk, you could paint your nails, you could call someone, you could clean something, you could write a letter, you could draw, you could paint, do a hobby. You could plan a vacation, plan something that gets you excited. So when you're writing your own menu, for each category, I want you to write things that would actually help that situation, like relax you, like taking a bath, reading, something like that. Or it could be something that's productive, because that helps us feel productive and accomplished when we're doing something, especially when we're bored. If you cleaned out a drawer or you had a list of things that you wanted to get done next time you're bored, washing the windows, things, on your to-do list, you could go through and, tell yourself, I'm going to do this first. And just to know that a craving usually passes within 5 minutes, whether you feed it or not. So you can sit with the uncomfortable and just kind of have that craving, or you could recognize that emotion and do something about it. And so I think that like having a list of things that you can do instead of going to the fridge or the pantry, or whatever buffer you tend to lean toward, that will really help you to become more conscious of those emotions. So this is my challenge for you this week. I want you to make a blasted menu. I want you to put it on your fridge or somewhere that you can look at next time you're having a craving or whatever that trigger is for you. Next time you're feeling like sitting and watching Netflix, or whatever your buffer is, when you notice that you've been scrolling on your phone a lot, ask yourself, what emotion am I feeling? All right, what does that feel like? Where is it? Process through it, take some deep breaths, and do something off of this menu. Become more productive, or at least intentional about doing things that will help these emotions. So that's my assignment for you. My next little tip is the week before Christmas. It seems like that's when our counters fill up with the goodies, at least, at my house. Neighbors are bringing things, people are making things. And so the thing that helps me the most is to not just have it sitting on the counter. So set yourself up for success, your environment up for success. Don't feel like you have to keep it because someone gave it to you. Enjoy that they gave it to you, that, maybe your kids, or you could bring it to work or share it with someone else, but don't feel like you have to keep it on your counter if that's a trigger for you. If you feel like you have to keep it, at least put it in the freezer, put it out of sight, because when you're hungry and it's sitting on the counter, that's the easiest thing to reach for. And that's what you're craving, usually something sweet when you're feeling hungry. So set your home up for success. Don't keep the treats around, pass them along. Don't feel bad about throwing them in the garbage. And just remember that you are the creator of your life. You have to create the space that you want. And so keeping your space, your home, a healthy environment is going to help you to not have to stop, challenge, and choose as often. The less choices we have to make, the easier it is. So set your home up for success, sit down and write a blasted menu, and have a great week. Bye.